The New England Patriots host their AFC East rival Miami Dolphins on Sunday in the season finale for both teams. New England's currently installed as a 10-point favorite in this game on BETDAQ. 46 is the total. Now the Patriots, of course, at 11-4 have locked up a playoff spot. There's a couple of different scenarios out there on Sunday you might want to watch. You know, this game more than any other game this week, this is a game you do not want to bet until right before kickoff. Pay attention to what goes on in the early games, the 1 o'clock games, because it's going to make a big difference on how you handicap this Miami-New England game. This game is a 4 o'clock game. Kickoff at 4:25 to be exact. Maybe a 9 o'clock game where you're at, depending, 4 o'clock here on the East Coast of the United States. Bill Belichick has been the type of coach in years past to rest his star players towards the end of the season in games that are meaningless. And if the Houston Texans can beat the Indianapolis Colts in the 1 o'clock hour on Sunday, this game most likely will be meaningless. That's because New England, for this game to mean anything, either Houston or Denver has to lose. If Houston or Denver loses, then New England could win this game and lock up a bye in the first round of the playoffs. They wouldn't have to play next week. Denver's playing the Kansas City Chiefs. They're 16-point favorites. They're playing at the same time New England is. Denver is most likely not going to lose. Bill Belichick knows that. But Houston has a little bit of a tricky game. They go on the road to play the Indianapolis Colts. That is a 1 o'clock kickoff. They've never won in Indianapolis in the history of their franchise. Now, they are 7-point favorites, so most people expect the Texans to get the win. Should they win, this game becomes totally meaningless for New England. And if that were to happen, expect Bill Belichick to pull Tom Brady, guys like Wes Welker, Aaron Hernandez maybe, starters on defense. Expect many of the frontline New England players to take a seat on the bench if this game becomes meaningless. Belichick all but admitted as much in this week's press conference. He was asked about his personnel decisions on Sunday, and he said, hard to be specific. There's so many possibilities out there. You know what that means. That means they're going to be watching the scoreboard. They're going to watch the results of those 1 o'clock games. And if Houston happens to win, maybe New England will play their starters through the first half of this game. Maybe they'll wait till Denver has a nice, comfortable lead on Kansas City. But I do not expect to see Tom Brady in the second half of this football game if the Houston Texans can beat Indianapolis in the 1 o'clock hour. So if Brady and most of the starters are going to be pulled, you'd have to look at the Miami Dolphins plus 10 here. Because the Dolphins, it's not like we're talking about the Jacksonville Jaguars, the Kansas City Chiefs here. The Dolphins are respectable. 7-8. They've won their last 2 games. Their last 2 opponents have scored a combined 13 points. The Dolphins playing good defense this season, 6th in the NFL in points allowed right now. They've been running the ball better these last couple of weeks. Now, their main weakness on defense is in the secondary. So if Tom Brady plays, if Indianapolis beats Houston in the 1 o'clock hour and New England needs this game to lock up a first-round bye next week, then I would lean towards New England, even though it is a double-digit spread, because Miami's weakness is in the secondary. Expect New England to be able to exploit that if they want to. And, I mean, if New England wanted to, I think they'd be able to cover a double-digit number at home against Miami. But they're not going to want to, or they're not going to care about it if Houston wins and if Denver looks like they're going to win. Bill Belichick's going to pull his starters. So very tough to get a read on this game right now. It is Thursday as we film this. This is one you're not going to want to bet until right before kickoff. If the Indianapolis Colts are able to beat Houston on Sunday, which I don't expect, by the way, I think the Texans are going to win that game, then I lean towards New England minus 10 here. But if this game turns out to be meaningless, if Houston beats Indianapolis on Sunday, if Denver gets out to a big lead against Kansas City and Bill Belichick pulls the starters, I like Miami's chances for a backdoor cover in this game. So a typical Week 17 game. We won't know anything really until the game kicks off in terms of what Belichick's personnel moves are going to be. So tough game to bet right now, but we should get some clarity as kickoff approaches.